Okay, we made it. I think we lost them. Okay, coast is clear. You can come out now. You alright, dude? Okay, remember the deal. I get you to Hyrule, you make us some bomb-ass coffee. Now get to it, man, before they find us. Sorry about that. Ever since he fled his island, he's been hiding out at our place. Hey man, what you playing? No, give me that. Anyway, he's gonna have to hide out here in the Hyrule Forest unless Tom Nook comes looking for his money. And speaking of Hyrule, welcome to Toy Kaboom, everyone. Today we're taking a look at the Zelda Game & Watch. Can you see it? So for those of you that are too young to remember Game & Watch, or controllers with cords, or why Channel 3 was so goddamn important, Game & Watch was a series of handheld consoles from Nintendo that were originally released in the late 70s to early 80s. They were very simple handheld consoles with very simple games. They usually only had 1 or 2 games at most. The screens were basically like calculator screens. They were black and white and had preset images that would light up individually. Extremely rudimentary by today's standards, but cutting edge for the time. These were very comparable to the Tiger handheld games, if you remember those as well. We're old. But the cool thing is Nintendo has been releasing these sort of commemorative Game & Watch consoles, which may not appeal to young gamers of today, but they're sort of these cool commemorative collectible pieces, which I love. There was even a Mario one, which I have right here. Check that out. And both of them have a series of games, like this Mario one has Mario 1, the Japanese Mario 2, a Game & Watch ball game starring Mario, and a cool interactive clock. The Zelda one has the same thing. If you see on the back here, it has Zelda 1, Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. It also has the Game Boy version of Link's Awakening, which is super awesome. There was an updated version of Link's Awakening for the Switch, which is also great, but it's cool to have the original here as well. Nintendo just knows how to do their retro stuff, which again appeals to old farts like me. By old, I mean 39 and kind of achy. One of the things I love about all of Nintendo's retro stuff, including these Game & Watch consoles, is the cool packaging. I mean, look at this. It's this nice, cool old box color, which sort of matches the old cartridges. You have all these cool little details, like the little Link there and bad guys and little bushes and things like that. I'm gonna try to get the packaging open without ruining the packaging too much. I think a lot of older Nintendo fans and collectors, like myself, buy these things to keep the packaging intact as well. This is not the sort of thing you would buy to play that often, really. I mean, you will play it, but mostly you want it on your shelf in your game room with all your other cool stuff. You know? Again, about the packaging, look how cool this is. It has this plastic overlay that slides right off, and that's where all the little details are. Just fantastic. Just real quick, I just noticed this. You see the screen there that shows the Zelda game from the NES? You slide it off, and there's the Game & Watch game behind it. So there's not much else to see here, so I'll just get it open and we'll see what's inside. Aw man, check it out. Special thanks to you. You're welcome, Nintendo. And thank you for my childhood indoors and my less than stellar eyesight. So one of the things they really improved here was the packaging on the inside as well. It now comes with this awesome Triforce labeled display case. So you can pop these things out here on the back and it becomes like a little stand that will hold your awesome Game & Watch in place. When you take it out, it has the instructions inside here. The details, man. Okay, here we are. Check that out. So lovely, man. Oh, check it out. There's a little Triforce engraved on the bottom there. Oh my God. Check out what happens when I turn it on. For those of you that don't know, that artwork you see there, that's from the original game manual for the first Zelda on NES. Okay, we're gonna quickly record some game footage for you guys here. I'll turn on the console again. So awesome. Okay, here's our game selection screen. Zelda, Zelda 2 of course, Link's Awakening, and that's the Game & Watch game. There's our timer. Okay, fantastic. You can also play the Japanese versions, I think. So that's kind of cool. Okay, let's play some Zelda. Start's not working. A works. You know, the sound is pretty good for being this tiny little handheld. All right, here we go, let's start. Yep, there we go. It's Zelda. All right, It feels like playing Zelda with what would be a normal NES controller setup, but on a very small screen. Not terribly practical, but as a collectible, super cool. Okay, let's try Zelda 2. I've played this game before, but I've never beaten it, so I'd actually like to do that someday. Maybe for Game Kaboom. There's Sleeping Zelda, of course. Good times. Let's fight a bad guy. Hey, there's a bad guy. On the map, you don't really fight the one bad guy you see. It takes you to a side-scrolling world where you fight a few bad guys. That's Zelda 2. Let's do Link's Awakening. I always love that intro. Alright, let's check out the Game & Watch game real fast. Game A and Game B. Alright. Vermin. Game & Watch Vermin. I don't think this game actually existed in this fashion when it was just, you know, the original Game & Watch Vermin, but they've added Link to this game there, which is super cool. It's pretty simple. You just move them around and smash the stuff. You know, and the point of this game was to get a high score, not to beat it necessarily. Very cool. Last but not least, let's check out the timer. It is sort of interactive as far as I understand, so... Oh yeah, check that out. So it's got time on it, or a timer, and you're playing some Zelda 2 here. Very nice. Again, you wouldn't spend a lot of time sitting around playing this, but still a really cool feature on the clock and timer, you know? So my final thoughts on this, is it the most practical device for young modern gamers? Not necessarily. But I don't think that's the intention here. This is strictly meant to be a collectible for adults who grew up during the NES era. It's supposed to be on your shelf in your game room with all your other Nintendo stuff, where you can occasionally have a little nostalgia trip and play some Zelda 2, and some Link's Awakening on this cool little nostalgic device. My one chief complaint is, for the price point, I kinda wish there were a few more Zelda games included. The one big one for me would be Link to the Past, which was the Super Nintendo game, but I'm sure that had to do with, you know, the button layout, because the Super Nintendo button had many more buttons than this thing is capable of. There were also some other 2D Zelda games that would have been cool to include in here, like the Oracle games would have been cool to have on here too. I think Capcom developed those, if I'm remembering correctly, so there's probably rights issues involved, but you know, that's sadly how it goes. But if you are the intended audience for this, which is old school NES fans like myself, this is a must-buy. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did enjoy this review, like and subscribe below. Now I gotta go find my stowaway and get my cup of coffee. I hope he knows his way around the Hyrule Forest. You know what? This could also be Endor. Or it could just be a park in Pasadena. I guess you'll never know. Alright guys, see you later. Bye-bye. Hey, I said make us coffee. What are you doing?